Hi Guido, Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuw boekreport. Today I want to discuss with you this wonderful book, The Hidden Spirituality of the Freemasonry, in Dutch de Vrijmetselarij. It's a group or groups in the world or groups in the Netherlands, and you can become member of these spiritual groups, and they talk about life, they talk about spirituality, they talk about world problems, and there are a lot of influential persons member of these organizations. I don't know anything about the procedures to become member, but for sure there are some selective features for it that you can bring also something to them. So the Freemasonry, you have a lot of buildings in the Netherlands where they give colleges and teachings. And this guy, Karol Mush, was member of the Freemasonry, and it is not so secret or dark or conspiracy theories here. He wrote a very open book about what they're doing and what he was learning there and what he was bringing there, because he was like professor on the university about religion studies, and he wrote a wonderful book, very nice writing skills. I'm not saying that so much about books. I'm very critical, but his writing skills are very, very good. And I wanted to compliment him about these writing skills. But he died a few years ago, so it was not possible to write him an email anymore. So I hope he see me from heaven down to earth, that I made maybe the only one, I think, the only one book report of this book, The Hidden Spirituality of the Freemasonry group. So let's start, right, to see what is the most important thing to understand about spirituality, to understand about self development in the deepest form. Spirituality is self development in the deepest religion form. And one of the think what is interesting, and Socrates was saying about this a lot of times, is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is one of the most important things to do in life, and nearly no one is going into knowing yourself, because you can only know yourself by mirrors in your life. So you have to get your coaches around you, not your friends. Your friends are not telling the truth about you. You have to find your coaches around you. They telling the truth. You have to find good coaches, I have to say, not coaches who are talking with you, but really coaches who are telling the truth to you. What is going on in your life? What are your working points? And you have to find mirrors in your life. Your parents, your sister, maybe your relationships are not quite clear, are not have the meditative deeper insights about you. They not can reflect in a clear mirror because their own mirror is disturbed. So your friends have not the big, good, wonderful, clean mirror that they can help you. So that's the reason why only a few people who are going into spirituality or going into self development are hiring a lot of coaches in the beginning period when they're starting with personal development. They hire a lot of coaches to grow. You can only grow with good coaches around you and people who support you. So, knowing yourself is one of the first movements of the Freemasonry schools or groups. Is who are you? And that's a really important question, and not what you think you are, but what the coaches around you that you hire think about you. So the searching tour is not a lonely tour and spiritual path. You're walking to the southern of Italy alone, and you speak some people on your road. You're spiritual, you're kind of spiritual path in life, and you walk to a religious path, and you walk and walk of finding yourself in the darkness of the woods. That's a nice experience that you're going in the forests and you walk and you walk, and then you're knowing yourself. That's maybe one part of your spiritual journey. The other journey is really get mirroring, reflective feedback from your spiritual coaches that you are hiring. Otherwise, you're coming home after you're walking tours to the southern of France and Italy, and actually you didn't change. You really liked the conversations, and maybe you met some wonderful people where you made love with, and you drink beer on the route in the bars, and you go partying something, and you come home. Yeah, I did my spiritual journey. I had my spiritual path. I was going on and on. I was walking my ass off, and you actually didn't change. So it can be a part of your journey, but real change is that you are finding yourself through others, and others are the coaches in your life. When you find yourself, and that's a very important sentence here by the Freemasonry, when you know yourself, you know your gods. Your gods. That is more gods, right? They don't talk about one god. They talk about gods. And the most very influential persons, very rich persons, successful persons are going to the Freemasonry to know the secrets. And one of the secrets, there is an inner gods. There are more gods inside your body. You can find ecstatic gods in your body. That's the biggest secret on earth, what I'm telling to you now. There's no one God, there are more gods, and there are inner gods. So what I want to say is that finding yourself first is your mental state. Finding yourself is your psychological state. That's your first layer in your self-development finding core attitude. So it is first finding yourself to psychologic. Find conversations with your coaches, and then you find really yourself. You're feeling yourself refreshed from your mental burdens in life, and you become already a little bit lighter. You become already bit chill and relaxed. You become more free of the burdens of life, from your past traumatic experiences in life. So first you have to remove, through psychological mental blockades in your conversation with your coaches, to find yourself. So that's the first thing. And later in the Freemasonry school, where right, you go to your inner gods. That's the meditation and the silent experience with yourself. And maybe then your spiritual walking tour to the southern of France, and walking there through Italy, and finding yourself more when you find a little bit your inner ecstatic gods in yourself. So, right? So you can only find gods, you can only find spirituality if you know yourself first. And that's also what Freemasonry guy Wyman in Dutch, page 28, was saying. It's a God-human relationship. Spirituality is a God-human relationship. You need to be alone a lot of times in your life. Page 34. Spirituality is a lonely business. You have to be alone because you go in the vertical movement from earth to heaven. So you make a vertical movement. You're not taking a horizontal movement from your age. You're becoming older and older and older, and that's your age development. We go in here in an energetical change. An energetical change in life, where you going on the vertical tour. Right? You have to cross in Christianity. The cross is like this, and the cross is like this. And the most people are staying behind in this. As the people are not hiring coaches, are not mirroring themselves, or staying the same in their whole life. And the cross is telling, the horizontal way of the cross is telling your normal matrix progression, non-transformation. You're just doing your job, and you become older and older. That's the horizontal life. Only a few are stepping in the vertical life of the cross. And it's the task, that's your purpose, to find both, right? You become older, I cannot do anything, and I become older, right? But finding the horizontal, the vertical line in the cross, the Christianity cross, is something what you have to discover, and then you're going to heaven, right? It's the God-human relationship. Finding the God-human relationship. And then you need space, and finding the vertical revolution, your vertical body revolution of the Christian cross. Listen more, talk less. Very important in your spiritual journey. Listening more to your friends, to your surroundings, to the people you know. Listening, find a coach who really can listen to your story, right? Listening is very quality what you're not seeing nowadays so much. We are in a very talkative society, and mostly an empty talkative society, where listening is an under quality. So much people are not listening or cannot listening good. You don't learn to listen on your schools, on your universities. You more teach to talk a lot, to improve your ego, to show your ego. I know so much, so I talk a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot to show who I am, right? That I can do something in my life, that I can show to my colleagues that I have so much knowledge. But if you really, really listen to the most talks of people, they're very, very empty. They don't say actually anything. They're very low in their density, right? They need so much words to actually say something. So if you become a better listener, you become more an awake man and see what is going on in the minds of people. Page 59. To know yourself is hard working. It is really, really hard working to know yourself. Through coaches, to read really deep self development books, really, really write or read articles or blogs from coaches, and next to your job, maybe next to your family, next to your sports, next to your empty social talks, next to your love life. So, people who are going into spirituality or going into self development, it's hard working. It is working your ass off. How much I worked for my self development. To become better in my speaking skills, to become better in my listening skills, to improve my social understandings of people, to read all my books, right? To write all my blogs, to get also knowledge from other people. So going into spirituality is so hard working. All the meditation hours I did in my life to get the change, right? To get the change is really, really insane. So, but you get back so much. You're really on the vertical line of the cross. You're not that sheep who are staying on the horizontal cross, right? You're going vertical. You're not going this. So that's up to you, right? What you want in life. You want to change constantly, you want to improve constantly, or you want to stay the same guy or the same woman who is addicted to drama, addicted to negativity, always in the stress, and you stay the same person years and years and years and not really get fulfillment out of that. So know yourself is hard working. So the Freemasonry guys know that it is a hard working activity. Foucault said also, page 61, the main interest from you have to be change. So if one of the most famous philosophers are saying this, Michel Foucault, I have to say it's French name, is saying that the main interest of people should be changed, I should listen to this guy. And page 75, the inner change will be seeing otherwise. You become more a shining character. You'll be having grandeur and majesty walk and majesty body language of all your meditations, of all your openness. You're not shy anymore. You're more tensionless. So you're ready to shine to the world. You can show yourself because you're not so insecure anymore. You're more proud of yourself. So you're able to shine outwards, and that's not something irreligious. That's not something what is not part of religion, that you're not able to shine, and Jesus was shining around. It could make people jealous on your charisma or your wisdoms, but then Jesus is shining. He's shining his grandeur. He's shining in a room. So your inner work reflecting your outer experiencing, your outer shiningness. So your inner work, your heart, inner work will reflecting the outside. And you can be proud of that. You can be proud of that, that you will become a shining character, that you shine to the world. So not hide yourself. Don't hide yourself from the matrix. Stay shining. And I tell matrix, I tell society, because society is still on the horizontal path. And if you're going like this on the cross, people can become jealous. They want to turn you back to your old level, or to the level where they are. Their frequency, their silly lives, their silly relationships, their silly jobs. So they want to get you back to their level, to their frequency. So also jealousy is upon them. That's what Jesus said. Jealousy is upon them. So be aware from jealousy around you, but stay shining. Shining in life. That's very important. Page 104. Wisdom, power, and beautyness are the three main topics of the Freemasonry. What beautiful, right? Beautyness, power in your body. In the gym, you build up power, right? So power in your body, the full human principle method from Leonardo da Vinci, right? Power, wisdom, and beautyness. Wisdom through knowledge, power through training and meditation and mental power, and maybe yoga or hot Bikram yoga or power yoga for women. And beautyness. Beautyness in art, beautyness in buildings, find it, enjoy beautyness. Beautyness in women, beautyness in guys, beautyness in cars. Enjoy the beautyness in your surrounding, and the most important, enjoy your own beautyness. Your own beautyness. Very, very important. Page 157, the last topic is love is acting. Love is not something what comes to you without doing nothing. That's the bad version of letting go, is doing nothing. There is now a hype in spirituality that everything what comes in your life is, oh, let go, oh, let go. And that could be affecting your non-acting attitude. You're staying in your female position, your female energy of letting go too much, your receptive energy, and it preserves you to step in the act male energy. When you're not going to do meditation for 2 hours per day, you get a very difficult life in finding chakra activations. So you have to act. If you find love, if you want to have more love in your life, you have to act. You have to go to the bar. You have to go to a club. You have to go to a lounge bar. And you have to wear a nice dress or a suitable outfit as a man. So you have to act. You have to make time for it. You have to go to the club. You have to go to a lounge bar. You have to get tickets for it. If you want to have a nice, godly body, you have to act. You have to go to the gym. If you want to become more knowledgeable, you want to have got more wisdoms in your life, you have to act. You have to go to the library or the bookstore and find nice books. If you want to eat healthy, you have to act. And you have to go to the supermarket and buy biological products or whatever, or vegetables instead of ordering online by the McDonald's. So acting is a very, very important mechanism that you have to understand as a male and also as a female. Females are staying mostly in the receptive mood. From a guy is coming to you on the road. If you're going out and going out and going out, you give energy to universe that they will come to you, right? So acting is very important also in spirituality. And love is acting, love for your body, love for your wisdom, love for your beautyness, love for your power, love for spirituality, love for your meditation is an acting mechanism. It is receptiveness, it is listening, it is lean back, it is observing, but it is also for 50% acting in life if you want to become successful in spirituality. So very, very interesting information about the secrets from the Freemasonry organization. Thank you for watching and I see you by the next video. Bye bye.